So welcome back to our NumPy tutorial part 5, and this time I'm going to be talking about splitting NumPy arrays. And what is splitting? Splitting is just the reverse operation of concatenation, and it's simply breaking down one array into multiple arrays. So in splitting, we take an array and we try to break it into different arrays, like multiple, based on the number we specify. So let's try splitting an array now. Let's go ahead and import our NumPy as np. So we would like to start working with one-dimensional array first. So let's try splitting arrays. So let's say the first array we have here array of names, and we just have some names of some boys here. So let's just say np dots array, and let's have Andrew, Paul, Peter, Max, John, so we have Matt, and let's have Mark. So we have, okay, let's add one more to make it 8. So let's say we have Samuel. So we have this array that contains 8 names now. So we could just have another array called name split, and we just use this function called array split. And this array inbuilt function called array split is actually takes 2 arguments in the case of one-dimensional arrays. But when we are talking about two-dimensional arrays, we're going to be having like 3 arguments there, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So this actually takes 2 arguments, and first one will be the array and the number of division you want to have. So let's say we want to have just 2 division here. We could just have it like name split here, and we could have this division. So what we could do here now is just let's try and print the name array and print also the name split itself. So running this now, we'll see the main array here itself giving us 8 people, 8 names in the array. While we can see the name split now, we are seeing that we are having a list of arrays, and this is the first array here, which contains just 4 names, right? And we're having the second array which contains 4 other names. So we took this name right from the index 0, 1, 2, and 3 and put it in the first array here. That's Andrew, Paul, Peter, and Max. Then we take the remaining and put them in the second array. So let me have name split 2 now. Call it name split 2, and let me just have this array as np dot array split. So let's split name and let's have it as 3. Let's have it as 4 so they'll be even. And let's print it out. So we can now see too the same thing happens here. So we're having an array, 4 arrays now, and they are just containing 2 names each, not like the first name split here, which is just 2 arrays. We can see the difference between them just because of this argument we specify here. So this is how array work for one-dimensional arrays. Okay, this is how it works. But let's say we just want to get just one of these. We don't want to get all the arrays. We just want to get the first subset of the array here. We could just say, okay, this is name split 2 now. So this is name split 2. We could just use these square brackets and the index of that array, and we will get the first array here. And here we see if we should copy this now and just paste it here again, and now we specify 1. We'll be getting the second array on the list there, as we can see here. So this is how it works here. And if you should like make this name split itself, we'll be getting this second array here, while this will be giving us the first array itself. So this is how we use index to get a subset of just like a single subset of the array itself instead of printing everything out. So let's say we have array of numbers and we call them nums. We just have array of numbers now. Let's have np.array. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have array of numbers like this. So I want to call them like num_split. So I like using splits, but I think that work quite alright for me. So we have num_split here, and we just have split. And let's say we want to split nums now into 5 parts. So let's just print this num_split out, and let's see. As it is now, we're having this 1 to 10 here, splitting it into 5 parts. We're having it as what? You can see we're having it here now as giving us 5 sub-arrays, having 2 elements individually. They are all having 2 elements individually. But let's now say we want to print this out. We want to print this element itself out itself, like just print each array itself. Like just like printing each array. So we can use a for loop to go through this, and we could just know that, okay, since we know that the numbers of arrays is 5, we could just say for I in range 5. What we could do here now is print, and I would like to use a formatted string, and let's say the sub array, and now I would like to have the number, the sub array 1 is this, and now I would like to have I, then this should be in a curly braces. I like to have I then +1. You should have guessed why we're using this +1 is because we use zero-based indexing in Python, and to make up for that we have to add 1 to every index we are having, because now 5 will be 4 while representing it with index. So let's have this now. You see, okay, I think there's an error somewhere. Okay, it is num_split. So we have it like this now. We have the sub array 1, we have it as 2, sub array 1, sub array 2, sub array 3, sub array 4, and sub array 5. So this is how it is. It splits it into different parts now. That's how it just work. So now let's say we want the user to enter the number of split the user wants. We just copy this, and let me paste this back here. And instead of having this, I want to have a variable here which I called split. No. So I could just have it as int input, and let's say enter number of splits. Then we want this 5 now to be split. No. Then what we want to do now is, okay, let's say we want to print this out first. Then after printing this out, I want to have for I in range, for I in range split, right? So let's print out this. So let's have it this way. Okay, I think we are good to go. So let's work with this now. So it's asking us that how many arrays do you want to split this into. We've all been working with arrays that give us evenly distributed. This is 1, 2. All of them are having 2 elements in the arrays, and the former one here is just like 4, 4. It's having like equal elements in the arrays. It's having like equal elements in the array. But what will happen if you give this 3 and we're having an element of 10, like 10, an array of 10 elements? So let's check it out. Okay. So this should be split, no? So let's run this again. So what will happen if we give this 3? Now we can see that it try its best to distribute this evenly, but you can see that it just find a way to make sure that it's giving us 3 sub arrays, and that's what it's just going to try to do. It doesn't care whether it's equal, but it will try its best to make it equal. So let's just run this again, and let's give this 6. Now you can see now that we have 4 that are having 2 elements and just 2 subarrays are having just a single element. So this is how it works with subarray. That will be all about splitting 1D array. So let's now see how do we split 2D arrays. So let's talk about 2D arrays. Okay, I say splitting 2D arrays. Actually, there's no difference in splitting 2D array. The only thing that we might have that can be a little bit different is just that while calling the array split function, we have opportunity to add one more parameter to it. So let's just say we have an array called a here, and we have np.array, and we just have this 2D array. Okay, let's have it this way. I have 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, let's have 4, 5, 6. Let's have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's say we have this 2D array here. So let me just try and print this and see. Yeah, we have this 2D array here, and if you should check the shape, we see that we're having 5, 3, and the dimension of this array, we're having 2-dimensional array. So this is a 2D array here now. So let's say we want to split this 2D array. And how do you do that? It's just like, you can just say we have our split here, and we have, can I just call it a split, and we have np dot array split. So we have the array first, and we have the numbers of splits we want to have. So let's give this 3, and yeah, we could just print out a split. So now you can see having 3 subarrays here, and now they are not evenly distributed, but yes, we're having 3 subarrays here. So now the parameter we can add here is the axis. In a way, the axis we want to print it out. So we have the ability to add the axis, because now we can print it either in the first dimensional way or the second dimensional way. Now just like talking in terms of row and column. So if I should have the axis to be 0 now we can see it's the same thing. This is telling us that by default this axis is set to 0, but see what will happen if I set it to 1. Now you can see the way it's printing this now. So if you don't, in case you don't understand this, let me just multi-bit. So you can see that now as the axis is like this, as the axis is 1, it's printing out this row, this column, and this column first. This is 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, and 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, and that's just how it print out this 3 array, just like that. That's how it print out this 3 array here. But now if this is set back to 0, you see that it's printing out it like this: this 2 row, this 2 row, and this single row, and these are it printed out. So this as you just specify the kind of whether you want to print, want to divide it, want to split the array in terms of column or in terms of the row, the structure at which we want the array to be splitted. So and we could loop through this just like we did before. So we could just let's say, okay, let me just leave this as this, and let me just copy this code. Let's have it here. So we could just say for I in range. Okay, now in range 3, because we're splitting it into 3 equal parts, not equal, into 3 subarrays. So print, okay, let's have these 2. Let's say this sub. So 1 plus I. So let's try and have new line here. I think it should be like this. Okay, let's have a split. So now we can see this is the subarray, the first subarray, the second subarray, and the third subarray here. But let's say if I should change this to 1, now you can see it now at the way it splitted it. So this is just the difference between it splitting 2D array and 1D array is just this other parameter that we're having. So that's just how it is. And now you could just access each element itself, okay? Each subarray itself by just printing out this a split 0 and a split 1, right? You could access them just like this by printing out each subarray itself.